Before the video starts, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We're trying to 150,000 subscribers by the 1st of May. Right now, we are just over 5,000 away, which is nuts. So if you guys like my team content, there's nowhere where you're going to get more than here. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. What is going on, guys? DBG here. In this video, we are going to be doing the budget tier list. So basically, cards that I'm going to put on this list are cards that are between, well, I'd say I'm going to put a max of around 15k on these cards. Some cards might be a little bit more than that. And there's also definitely some cards I forgot. I didn't want to check the market for absolutely every one of these cards. I just know some of the cards are in and around that. So there might be some cards that might be around 20k on this list. And also there's cards that I might say are prices that are just completely wrong right now. But yeah, basically all of these cards definitely are still considered budget cards, especially with what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks. There's going to be a bunch of locker codes for free. Packs is going to be a bunch of opportunities to make MT. For that reason, I think that it's going to be fairly easy to make a 100k squad, and these guys are all kind of perfect for that level. So yeah, now let's get on to it. Value will come into effect in this. So for example, if a card is 15k MT and he's only slightly better than a card that's 1k MT, the card that 1k MT is going to be ranked higher. This is not purely ranked, like this is because it's budget players, I'm going to rank value. But anyway, now let's get on to it. Starting off with David Thompson. This card is bad. Not awful, but bad. So I'm going to say he is very comparable to his other card. Very, very comparable to his Pink Diamond, but his Pink Diamond is awful, lads. Like for a Pink Diamond, that's as bad as it gets, especially because he was free for so many people at Christmas. That's as bad as it gets. But David Thompson, you got a guy who can't really shoot the ball. Yeah, sure, you can dunk, you can go by people, but is he anything spectacular? No. Is he even a good card? I'm going to say no. So, yeah, David Thompson, C tier. So, Grant Hill, honestly, he is, like, there are two badges, basically, that his Opal has that are way better than this card. But funnily enough, when this card first came out, it wasn't that much worse than the Opal. However, they did upgrade the Opal a little bit. Because he's got no clamps and no range extender, which are two of the most important badges, he's got 40 golds, but like again, 40 golds is nothing nowadays. I'm gonna have to put him down into C tier. Not a bad card, just he can be exposed a little bit. Penny Hardaway is also going down here into C tier. So Penny's around the same price as Grant Hill, and pretty much the thing with Penny is that Penny offensively is still really, really good. He's got a really solid point guard offensively. The problem with Penny is that he's got like 74 lateral quickness. He can't guard anybody. And if it's blow by central when he's on the floor, if you play a 2-3 zone, he's not a bad player to use. I'm saying that right now, he's not a bad player in a 2-3 zone, but he's got a lot of length to 6'7" at the point guard position. However, if you don't play a 2-3 zone, you play man, he is a disaster. Next, we've got Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson, for his price, like I used to put Eddie Johnson as like an A tier overall player. However, times have changed. I'm going to put him in B tier even for budget players. Yeah, Eddie Johnson's a good card. Problem is he's got steady. So even though he's around 10k MT, he's got clamps, he's got quick first step, he's got gold range extender, he's got a good release, but he's got steady shooter. So I would honestly take a cheaper option like a Keith Van Horn, who's actually, I forgot to put Keith Van Horn on this list. Just completely forgot about that. Keith Van Horn would probably be A. Someone like a Keith Van Horn to 2 or to 3, or even a Landry Fields, I would put over them just because they don't have steady shooter. Although Eddie Johnson is still usable, especially if you are on a budget, he's still usable, but nothing spectacular. Then we've got Giannis. We got this Giannis here because he's by far the cheapest. I'm going to put him into A tier just for his defense. He can still run around the place and get steals. Maybe not to the level of the Pink Diamond Giannis or the other Diamond Giannis even, but he is still pretty okay. If you're on a budget and you want a Giannis type card, this Giannis is obviously a guy you can use. I had been trying to compare the likes of Jared Jeffries and stuff to him, and I think Giannis is better. Straight up, Giannis is going to be better. If you're on the Diamond Token reward, get Jonathan Isaac rather than him. Jonathan Isaac is just a way better version of him. But yeah, Giannis belongs in A tier. Not S tier because no quick draw. And that is pretty much it. Then we've got Earl Monroe. Just outdated. Like, again, not a bad player by any means. A really, really good card when he first came out at the very start of the year. However, he's outdated. Like, in December, we were looking at Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill as really good cards. And it's March now, and they're outdated, whereas Earl Monroe, who came out in September, is very, very outdated. Literally the first legacy pack. I'm probably one of the few people that actually like legacy packs at the start of the year, because there's a bunch of guys that we would never, like, no way would they give us the likes of Eddie Johnson right now. No way are we getting players like that right now. However, at the start of the year, we got all guys like that in the legacy packs, so it would be a little bit like more of the unheralded players. So I wouldn't like it if legacy packs coming out now, but I did like it at the start of the year just for a bunch of cards. Like, it got people using the likes of Johnson, it got people using the likes of Jeff Petrie, it got people using a bunch of cards that we wouldn't be seeing nowadays. So I'm glad that they did release legacy packs, and I'm also glad they stopped them when they did and replaced them with flashbacks. But Tony Kukoc is going A tier. So Kukoc is 6'10", so he's got really good height for the small forward position. Actually has a fantastic release, has got Hall of Fame quick for his step, but there's just something about him that keeps him off the elite level. Like, there's something about him that keeps him below the likes of Lamar Odom and stuff. Although he is still a really good card, like fifth for like 13, 14 KMT, whatever he goes for, he's a steal. Value wise, if he was like 7 or 8 KMT, he'd probably be up there in S tier, but 13, 14k is still unbelievable value for him. Theo Ratliff, I'm gonna put him in. I don't know if I'm gonna put Theo Ratliff in B or C. I'm gonna put him in C just because he's undersized and can't shoot, but he's a really good defender. Theo Ratliff, I know people that love using this card, and I'm not going to say he's a bad card because his stats lie. He plays way, way better than his stats would suggest, but overall, he is a very solid card. Chauncey Billups, because he's gone up to like 10k, I'm gonna put him in A tier. The reason for that is that I think, he's fantastic, but when you've got the likes of Mahmoud that are half his price, and again, I completely forgot to put Mahmoud on this list. Mahmoud slightly ahead in S tier. I don't know what. There's so many that I can go through that I have skipped out on players, especially because it's hard to like flick through everything and make sure you're picking the players. But can't believe I've got an S tier player, just like KD yesterday. But Chauncey Billups, A tier, like he'd be on the higher end of A tier. I think even value wise, I'd put him ahead of Kukoc or Giannis. But like, I don't use Billups anymore. I don't use him at all, so that's why he is going there into A tier. Then we have got Karl Malone. Karl Malone, I'm going to put Karl Malone A tier just because of his versatility. He's a little bit on the expensive side. Like, he's around 14, 15k. And he is a really good player. Again, he's not the greatest in offense, but he's 6'9", which is very undersized. But with his goal clamps, he's actually very good at defending the likes of Tim Duncan, very good at defending Chris Webber, Dwight Howard. So he can defend those type of players with quick first step that will burn other players because of his clamps and his defense. So for that reason, he's A tier. Donovan Mitchell, I really like Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to put him A tier as well. So he's around 8 to 9k MT. He can dunk, he can shoot, he can play defense. He does everything. Does a little bit of everything, but just not quite S tier. Pat Bev, B. I'm going to put Pat Beverly above Penny Hardaway and Grant Hill. Pat Beverly's a really good defender. Shoots really well when he's not in like range extender range. So overall, I think he is a pretty good card. I'm going to put him in B. Kyle Lowry, I'm going to put in B as well. Kyle Lowry's like a slightly worse version of Billups. He's Billups, but he's 6'1". Billups 6'3". He's a 2-inch smaller Billups. I probably prefer I prefer Billups release, but only very slightly. Kyle Lowry's a solid defender, really good passer, does everything well, just a little bit undersized and can't dunk. He's like really a slightly better release than Mahmoud, but he's a slightly better Mahmoud with that can't dunk. So that's actually a big thing because he can't really go to advance that well. And I don't think he's a half and quick first step either. Gerald Wallace, S tier. Even though he is around the 15k MT, Gerald Wallace is legit. Like, release is money. He should be like the first big purchase anyone makes. So if you guys are starting out the game or you're on a budget and you want, say, only one of your players to be like 15k, Gerald Wallace, that player. Because you can use him in every way. He's got Hall of Fame quick first step and stuff, so he can be your main man going by people. He can handle it. He can shoot from deep. He can play defense. He can be an unbelievable glue guy, which is the way I use him. Or he can be the best player in your team if you're on a budget. He is that good. Then we have got Hedo Turkoglu. I'm going to put Hedo in A tier. Hedo's got some really nice animations. He shoots the ball quite well. There's just something about him this year that's not as good as last year. I don't know what it is. Like, his release is good. It's the same release as Billups. I love that release. Moving shot, he's still got the normal 4-leaner. which is really, really good. It's just something about him that keeps him off S tier. And he is around 10 KMT, so he's quite cheap. I put him, I'd say he's on a similar level to a Tony Kukoc. I just think Kukoc's the tiniest bit ahead. I think Odom is a tiny bit ahead of Kukoc. I think Kukoc is a tiny bit ahead of Hito. Then we've got Jeff Petrie. C tier because of his lack of clamps. Because offensively, like if they gave Jeff Petrie clamps, you're getting like a budget Dwayne Wade. He's got all Dwayne Wade's animations. We know how good Dwayne Wade's animations are. He's got like a cheesy hop step. He can do everything really well. He just can't really play defense. Then we have got Paul Pierce. I'm going to put Paul Pierce down in C tier as well. Can't shoot corner threes, which is a big problem. That is a big, big problem. And for 7 or 8 KMT, for a guy who literally can't shoot from the corner, yeah, that's not a great thing. That is not a great thing at all. Then we've got OG Anunoby. I'm going to put OG in A tier. So OG is a fantastic defender. Actually, he's got quite a good release. Handles the ball all right. Dunks well. In terms of glue, guys, you can't go wrong with OG. A really solid card. Then we have got Hamidou Diallo, B tier. So Hamidou Diallo is super, super quick. He can dunk on everybody and is a really good defender. Is he going to shoot the ball particularly well? Not really. He'll hit wide open shots, but he's not like this absolute be-all and end-all sniper. But no, an overall just solid enough player, and especially because the fact he's basically discard value, which is why he's B tier. Is he better? I actually would say he's better than David Thompson, and I'd say he's probably the worst player on the B tier so far, but because of value, especially if you're just starting at the game, Diallo's a must pick up. And we've got Shaq. Oh, do I put Shaq in A or B tier? I'm going to put Shaq in A. Actually, no, Shaq is 1 KMT. Shaq is 1 KMT. I'm putting him in S. In terms of value. Or he's whatever, like 1.5 KMT. In terms of pure value, you're basically getting Pink Diamond Shaq. You're getting 99% of Pink Diamond Shaq for this price. Do I think Shaq's as good as Karl Malone? No. But he's like 1/10 of the price. So because I'm taking value into account, Shaq is going S tier. Can't shoot, that's just one problem. But again, for 1.5 KMT, you can't get much better. But there is one guy that's a lot. Actually, no, you can get much better, but it's only one guy that's much better. Then we have got Landry Fields. I'm going to put Landry Fields in A tier. He's basically like an Eddie Johnson type player. But I think Fields, just without steady shooter and has a slightly better release. Basically, he's Evan Fournier with clamps and quick first step. So, pretty good. Thon Maker, is there even a question? Thon Maker is S tier. Thon Maker is just ridiculous. Like Hall of Fame quick first step. He's got a handle. He can speed boost. He can shoot. His strength isn't great, but it's not absolutely awful. Decent shot block. He's got decent speed. He can get in past the lanes really easily. He gets a bunch of steals. He is, man, he's a demi. He's a borderline demigod. Like, Thon Maker is a top 10 big man in my team. I'm saying that right now. Like, he's not on the Kareem level. He's not on the... Actually, offensively, he's as good as any of them. Like, offensively, you put him right up there with the best big men in the game. He's top 2 or 3 offensively, but because he's probably not top 20 defensively, I'd say he probably comes in around 9-10 as big man in the game, and he's 2 KMT, so A tier, obviously. Terrence Davis. I'm going to put him in A tier. He's a decent player to run the point. He's got Hall of Fame limitless range. He shoots the ball really well. Dunks the ball quite well. 6'4", decent defender. Just not really much of a playmaker, which is why he's there. And we got Alex Caruso. Caruso is going into A tier. And the reason why I don't have Micah Ray Richardson on this list is because I think Micah Ray Richardson and Caruso are almost the same player. I think both of them do the exact same job. So Micah Richardson and Caruso, I said I'd say it with one of them. Now there's no point putting 2 of players that I think are the exact same into as 2 different players. So then we've got Tom Chambers. So this is a really tricky one, because when Tom Chambers evos up, as a diamond, he's probably still B tier. As an amethyst, he's B tier. But once he gets to a pink diamond, which might take 2 or 3 hours, he goes up to S tier. So I'm going to put him, because of his price, and he's very, very cheap. Because of his price and his ease of evo, I'm going to put him S tier. However, if you don't want to evo him up, or you don't have that little bit of time, but to be fair, it's looking like everything's going on lockdown, so a lot of people are going to have a lot of time. That's why I'm going to put him in S tier. Jeff Green is a much, much better Diamond Giannis. I think he's almost equivalent to the Pink Diamond Giannis. Jeff Green is S tier. No doubt about it. D Brown, a slightly worse Terrence Davis, is going B tier. So, again, just scoring wise and stuff, D Brown is without question A tier. Problem is he's got decent defense, but just overall ability to be a point guard isn't great. Like, yeah, you can dunk, yeah, you can shoot, but like, no dimer, no floor general, no defensive leader. Like, I don't know. I can't justify putting him up here in the A tier players, but he is still pretty good. Jeremy Lin, no doubt about it, S tier. Jeremy Lin is like, again, it takes a little bit of time to evo up, and you can get him up to diamond in 2 hours. And when he's a diamond at 93 overall, even, he's fantastic. Obviously, he becomes game changing at pink diamond, especially when he first came out. He was unbelievable at pink diamond, but nah, Lin is insane. So then we have got Marcus Morris, and Marcus Morris is like a much worse version of Hito and Mitchell and Kukoc. I'm gonna put him in B tier. He's basically like, Marcus Morris is Keith Van Horn with a worse release. Like, Van Horn would be on the low level of A tier, high level of B, and then Marcus Morris, I think he's a slightly worse version of Van Horn. Still a decent card, still usable. To be fair, like, anything B tier and above, I would say you can use in my team and they'll hold their own. But yeah, I think Morris belongs in B. Fultz is going into C tier. Fultz has got gold range extender. I don't think he's got clamps or quick first step though. Like, his shot is really good. If you want just purely shooting wise, I understand why people really like Fultz, but again, the no clamps is killer with him, even when he's evoed up to amethyst. Charles Oakley is going into B tier. So Charles Oakley has got no real post game on offense. However, his jumper is money. He also comes with defensive leader, and for the same reason Hamidou Diallo, Oakley is always around the 1K MT. He can be like a defensive anchor for your team with his Hall of Fame Intimidator as well as Hall of Fame defensive leader. So just like on my Road to Glory squad, when you're on an extreme budget, Charles Oakley's a fantastic player. Then we have got AC Green. I'm going to put AC Green down here into C tier. The reason why I'm putting AC Green down there in C tier is, yeah, he's actually a good defender stats wise. Problem is he's got no clamps. He's outdated. He was actually alright when he first came out. He's just outdated. His post game is actually quite good. I actually really used to like him. I used to use him a lot. He was a versatile defender. He's a jack of all trades. Doesn't do anything incredibly well though. So for that reason, he's down here in C tier. And we got Aaron Baines. Oh, no, not C tier for Aaron Baines. This is an A or an S tier type situation. He's about 2K, so he's a similar enough price to Shaq. Doesn't really have much of a post game. However, is a really good interior defender, but not a great perimeter defender. I think just in terms of height wise, because he's an unbelievable pick and pop jump shooter. So for my play style, man, this is an S tier budget player. This is an S tier budget player. I don't think he's as good as Karl Malone, but he's way, way less expensive. So yeah, the way I play Aaron Baines S tier, for most people, he wouldn't be there. Most people will have him in A tier. He's still really good, but for me anyway, it's S tier. Reggie Jackson is going to go into B tier. Definitely a usable card. The problem with Reggie Jackson is that he's got no quick first step, which is an actual problem. It's the same problem with John Starks. John Starks, I don't like John Starks' animation, so I'm not going to put him on the list. John Starks probably be C tier. But John Starks, again, if he had quick first step, he'd be a completely different player. Miles Turner. Ooh, I'm going to put him in A tier. And I'm also going to put Bargnani in A tier. And in a kind of a weird one, the reason why both these guys are going in A tier is that the funny thing is that Aaron Baines, I think, is a mixture between Miles Turner and Bargnani. He's Miles Turner's post defense combined with Bargnani's shooting. Like, as I used to use Miles Turner and Bargnani as like two players, as my two centers, because I felt like they both gave you different things. They're both good. And funnily enough, you've got Aaron Baines, who I think is like a mixture between both of them. So yeah, Aaron Baines goes there. And then we got Jerry Sloan, who I think is one of the best releases in the game. He's got clamps. He's going right here in the middle in B tier. The fact that when he first came out, I thought he was one of the best cards in the game, period. An absolutely underrated player. I don't think he's anything spectacular now, but at the time he was so underrated. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.